teaching the book of Ruth, he said, Naomi is grieving, Orpah is leaving, Ruth is cleaving. And she is. Ruth 1:14 tells us, but Ruth clung to her. Also translated, she embraced her. She held on to her tightly. Man, I feel for Ruth at this moment because apparently she can't go back and she can't go forward. She can just hang on. Psalm 139:5, I love this description. You hem me in, behind and before. You, Lord, have laid your hand upon me. Once again, there's the hand of the Lord, sometimes holding us in place, saying that dreaded word, wait. I hate wait. But sometimes we have to just stop, and he has stopped Ruth right here. She's cleaving to Naomi. Interestingly, even with Naomi pushing her away. You know, if somebody clearly didn't want my company, I am gone. See ya. But she's hanging on. Why? Something is happening in Ruth's heart. And I think at this point, it is not about Ruth. It's all about God. God is doing, right now in the story, some major work in Ruth's heart to give her this unbelievable love for Naomi. I'm just asking you, has Naomi done one thing that makes her likable? Really? Oh, and she hasn't even gotten started on the big whining yet. You know, we haven't gotten to, don't call me Naomi, that's coming. But because we know she has that in her, I think we can safely say Ruth's sacrifice is enormous because Naomi has nothing to recommend her at this point. Look, said Naomi. Again, we don't know how she said the word look, but how else would you say that? Look, said Naomi, your sister-in-law is going back, Shuv, to her people and her gods, little g, plural s, go back with her. So, Naomi is not only trying to get rid of her daughters-in-law, but she is sending them back to their gods, pagan gods. Boy, the woman has really lost it here. She just wants to get home, and the faster she can do it, and the fewer baggage she can take with her, the happier she's going to be. But, oh baby, I love this word. This is what I call one of the big buts of the Bible. In fact, I seriously thought about writing a book called Big Butts of the Bible. You know, because there's so many big butts. There are. When you see but in the Bible, often it serves as a hinge, opening or closing a door. Despite all that's going on, but Ruth replied, don't urge me to leave you or turn back from you, Shuv. Also translated, don't tell me, don't force me, entreat me not. Now, this is the first time Ruth has spoken on her own. They often say, the scholars do, that the first words spoken by a biblical character tell you everything you need to know about him. These are Ruth's first words. Don't make me leave you. Whoa. I think we often picture Ruth as this really, kind of meek and mild, out there with her grain, just not all the way to wimpy. She married him, but just kind of this compliant woman. You gotta get who she really is. To her mother-in-law, who's clearly said, go back about 1 billion times. No, don't ask me to do that. Wow. Where you go, I will go. Those are powerful words. That isn't, if you don't mind, if it'd be okay, I'd kind of like to tag along. That's not what she's saying. Where you go, I will go. Unstated, whether you like it or not. I love that. She's my kind of woman. She is strong. She says what's on her heart. And these beautiful words, where you stay, I will stay. Many people use these in their wedding ceremony. Did anybody use the words of Ruth in your ceremony when you married? Did you? Oh, I love it. Except you got to look at your cute husband when you said it, right? I think what makes it so amazing about Ruth is she's looking at her mother-in-law. Wow. We have a new believer here, as we're about to find out, making this incredible pledge. Your people will be my people. Ruth willingly turned her back on everyone and everything she knew. And then the most important words of all, your God will be my God. So this is a confession of faith Nothing short of it. The day comes, baby, when you got to put your stake in the ground and say, I believe in God, I trust in God, and I will not let go. Stiff-necked Orpah went back to her people, went back to her gods, little g, plural s. But Ruth turned to the living God. She turned from idols to serve the living and true God. This is love in action. This is faith with feet. This is that chesed word, H-E-S-E-D, is how we usually transliterate it from the Hebrew, means loving kindness. And then Ruth also promised Naomi, where you die, I will die, and there will I be buried. Now, why is that such a big deal? Oh, because back then, in the ancient Near East, you wanted to be buried with family in your own property. Think of Abraham buying that cave so everybody could be buried in it. Isaac, Jacob were all in there with their wives. That's how things were done. You were supposed to be buried on your ancestral homeland. But she says, no, where you die, that's where I'm going to die. That's where I'm going to be buried. How could she say that? Because she knows she's going to her true home. She's going to Bethlehem, Judah. She's going to God's house. Then she says, may the Lord deal with me, be it ever so severely, if anything but death separates you and me. So she's giving God free rein. Do what you want. Kill me, curse me, it's okay. Do you say that? Ever? Because we know God's power. She does too. She's looking at what happened in Naomi's life. She's looking at a dead husband and 2 dead sons, and she's saying, I'll trust that God. Have at me, Lord. What a faith. I think you can only say that to a God you trust, not to exact that kind of judgment. And of course, the commitment to her mother-in-law is huge. That's a dramatic leap of faith. Well, when Naomi realized that Ruth was determined to go with her, boy, is that the understatement of the year? Determined. Also translated, steadfastly minded and had her heart set, Naomi stopped urging her. But you need to know what this means. Naomi fell silent. Whoa. If somebody made a promise like that, wouldn't you be kind of expecting the person you made that commitment to say, wow, or thank you, or even no thank you, something? Naomi says nothing. Whoa. For those of us who are highly expressive, I think you'll agree Ruth is highly expressive. Can you imagine getting, Walter Wangerin calls it a howling solitude? Nothing. In fact, Naomi's not going to speak again till they get back to Bethlehem. I hate riding in the car with somebody who's unhappy with me. Don't you hate that? It's just too quiet. She just gets the silent treatment as the two of them head for home.